Students, in today's lecture we are going to start with unit number 2. In unit number 2 we are having total 2 chapters. So in today's session we are going to start with chapter number 4, that is waveform fundamentals. Basically in this chapter we are going to learn different files and classes which are available in our Microsoft Visual software. Means if you have seen our software Microsoft Visual Studio, then normally we take projects, that is website, and in website we are taking different web pages. So all these things are taken by us, but other than these files like .aspx or .axpx file, we are having other files also, like global.aspx or webconfig. After that, when we simply double click on any button, then the coding window, that is CS page, will get open. In that we are having by default page load event. So page load is an event of page class. So there is a page class which contains so many events. So all such things we are going to learn in this chapter, that is waveform fundamentals. So let's start with this chapter. Before starting the chapter, there are two ways to execute the program, okay, in Microsoft Visual Studio software. The one way which we have seen, that is normally we create interface, okay, on .aspx page by taking controls from the toolbox, and after that the coding part is done on some other page like aspx.cs page. So that type of execution is called as code behind. Means we create interface on separate page and the logic is present on the separate page. But other than that, if you don't want to have the separate page for the logic, on the same page of interface, that is on the same page of .aspx, if we want the coding portion also, so that is again possible, and that is known as inline coding. That type of coding is known as inline coding. So in case of inline coding, basically in HTML's head tag we make use of script tag, okay, and in script tag we add the different events whatever we want, like page load or button one underscore click. All such event we can have in that script tag, okay, and the body portion, that is form tag, which is present inside the body tag, can have the HTML controls like text box, check boxes, radio buttons, radio button list. We can take all the controls which are present inside the toolbox. But in case of inline coding, the logic part, that is actual coding which we want to perform on button one underscore click event, that coding we will write on the same page only. So this is called as inline coding. From the example it will be clear to you. So on this slide I have given the example. Just see the first example, first half, function 2.aspx. Now that is your normal .aspx page which is having HTML. After HTML we are having head. Inside head there is a title tag, and after title tag we are having script tag, okay. In script tag we have passed two parameters, that is run at server and language, that is C#, which we are going to use. So in this we have created, in script tag we have created one function, parameterized function, int add up into round bracket int x comma int y, and this function returns the addition of x plus y. And there is one more function, or this is nothing but the default event, which is page, which is present in .cs file, that is page load. So void page underscore load, and in this event what we have done, we have taken one label and we just change the name property of that label to message label, and on that label what we want, the answer which is written by the add up function. So in script tag we are having one function, and the result of that particular function we will get to see on the page load. Means once we execute the page, once that particular page, web page, is loaded, immediately you will be able to see the output, and the output is going to displayed on the label, okay. So label one dot text equal to add up into round bracket 8 comma 4 dot toString. So basically 8 plus 4, that is 12, is performed, and as we all know that add up function is having return type as an integer. So it will return the answer in integer, and whenever we want to display the message on the label, it should be present in the form of string. So just to convert the integer answer into string, we make use of toString function. Okay, so add up into round bracket 8 comma 4. This function will return the answer as 12, and that 12 is nothing but the integer is converted to the string, and then it is displayed on the label. Okay, so this is the logical part which we have written inside script code. Okay, script tag. After that, as we all know that we will once the coding part is done, we will simply close the script tag. After script tag, we have to close the head tag, and after head tag, our body will be there. Inside body tag, we are having form tag, and in form tag, we normally take all the controls. Okay, so the label on which we have displayed the result, that label is taken inside form control. Okay, so here we are not having any separate .cs file. aspx.cs file is not there. That is, it's not like that we have double click on the label, then a .cs file is open. In that we are having page underscore load event, and in that event we are writing the code. This is our normal way of writing the program, whatever we have learned in practical number 1 and 2. But here the logic is also on the same page, that is .aspx, and the interface is also present. Okay, and when we execute the program, the entire page along with the script tag will get executed. So this is called as inline code or single page code. We don't need to use two pages. So on a single page we perform everything. That is, we have created interface also, and we are having what we can say that coding part also. So this is called as inline coding. Okay, and again on the second half also we are having some portion of a code. So that is again same only, but in this we have not written any logical part. From this inline code, from this actually example I want to clear two concepts. First concept, that is inline coding. Now hopefully I hope that the concept of inline code is clear to you. Other than that, we are going to learn one more question, that is elements of .aspx file. This is the theory question which will be asked during the exam. Elements of .aspx file. So in actually sky blue color, there are some text: code, declaration block, ASP.NET Control, page directives. So all these are nothing but the elements of .aspx file. Basically, the by default page appears in front of us. In that these elements are visible, but other than these elements, there are so many elements also which we are going to learn in further slides. But in current example, these three elements are visible. So this actual coding part which we have written inside the script tag. Okay, so that is nothing but that is called as code declaration block, where we have written the code. After that we are having form tag. Okay, in form tag we are making use of label, text boxes, buttons, check boxes, radio button list, images, right? So these are nothing but the ASP.NET controls. So basically we write all the ASP.NET controls inside form tag. And third part, that is, just see the second example, page directives. Page directives means just see the first line, triangular bracket, then percentage @ page, and after that page directives is having so many other parameters like language, auto, event, wire rub, and other also are there. So that is the first line which we have written inside triangular bracket modulus @ so page. Okay, so this is called as page directives. We are going to learn different types of page directives available in ASP.NET in further session. So these are the elements of .aspx file. We are having page directives, code declaration block, ASP.NET controls, which are currently possible for me to show you in the current example. So let's move to the next part. So as we have seen, directives, code declaration block, ASP.NET controls. Other than these controls, we are having some more elements of ASPX file, that is code render block is there, server side comments, server side include directives, literal text and HTML tags. Okay, so these are the elements of ASPX file. So the first part is directives. So as we have seen, that is triangular bracket, percentage, at the rate, we are having page, and after page we are having language equal to C#. And then we simply close this tag, that is percent triangle bracket. Actually ASP stands for active server pages. So this was a language previously available, and in this language we normally write the code using not only triangular bracket, but after triangular bracket we have to provide percent symbol, and then we write the code. So this type of we can say that format was used in ASP language. So the same uh, things from that language we are using, because we are learning ASP.NET only. So directives, we are having two directives. One is page directives and the second one is import directive. Basically we use page directive just to specify the language which we are going to use for a particular page. Okay, and other than page directive we are having one more directive, that is import. So import directive, basically as we have seen, we are having separate .aspx and .aspx.cs page. Okay, so on that .aspx cs page there are by default so many namespaces are available, using system.data, using system.data.sql client. Like that there are n number of namespaces available. But suppose if you are performing inline code, so in inline code we are not having that aspx.cs page. So if you want to write some code which is related to, suppose, database connectivity, so for database connectivity we need one namespace, that is system.data.sql client, and I want to write the program in inline coding method only. So what we will do, we will simply import the different types of namespaces which are required for the current program. And how we will take all the namespaces? By using import directive. So just see the example. Again it is similar to page only. In place of page we have to make use of keyword import, and in page directive we are having one parameter, that is language parameter. Similarly in case of import directive we are having namespace as a parameter. Namespace equal to, within double quote, just write down the namespace which you want, like system.data.sql client. Okay, so there are two directives which are available, that is first one is import and the page directives. Then the second element of .aspx file is code declaration block, that is the code declaration block is nothing but the script tag, okay, in which we write down the code. So basically in script tag we have seen run at equal to server. So this is the one parameter which we use in script tag, but there are two other optional parameters also available in script tag. The first parameter is language equal to, we have written C#, right? So we can provide the language which we are going to use, okay, by using language parameter. And this example is actually the first example which we have seen. In that we have already seen the code declaration block. Within head tag we write the script tag, and in script tag we will be having the actual code or actual event on which we want to perform certain actions, as we are not having .cs file. Okay, the second parameter which is available with the script tag, that is src. Src stands for source. Now when we will use this particular parameter, suppose you don't want to write the coding part inside script tag, but the coding part you have already written in some other .aspx file. Okay, the coding logic is already there, but not in the current file. It is present in the second file, and we want that content of the second file in the current page. Okay, so in that situation we can make use of src attribute of script tag. So src equal to external file.aspx. So just see the content within a square, that is in external file.aspx I have written code for button submit underscore click event, that is button click event, we are writing some code like lbl message dot text equal to hello world. So this particular code is present under external file dot aspx, and the interface is written in some other file. Just see the interface, we are having one label and one button. So once we double click on the button, we will get to see the message hello world on the label. So the example 3.6, the code above external file.aspx is the different aspx file in which we are importing the content from other file, logical part. So for that purpose we can make use of src, that is source attribute. Then the third component is ASP.NET controls. So basically all the ASP.NET controls means the controls which are available inside toolbox. Okay, that can be a part of form tag, form run at equal to server. So all the controls should be appear inside the form tag. It is compulsory, all ASP.NET controls. About this control we are going to learn in detail in the second chapter. Next part is code render block. Code render block basically again it is coding block only, but directly within HTML file we will start writing the code along with the variable declaration and all. In previously what we have seen, we are having the coding part in script tag, interface is present in the form tag. But suppose you are having some program which you want to execute directly inside HTML file, inside the HTML tag, so that is nothing but the code render block. So basically code render block is consisting of two blocks. First one is inline code. The symbol which is used for inline code, that is triangular bracket and percentage. This block basically we use to execute a statement or series of statement. Means if you are having more than one statement to execute in HTML block, in HTML tag, then in that situation we can make use of inline code. And if you want to display the value of a particular variable which is written by specific method, okay, so in that situation we are using second block, that is inline expression. So inline code means we will write, we are having more than one statement to execute, then we make use of inline code. And in case of inline expression means if you want to return the value of particular variable, okay, so in that situation you can use inline expression. And there is again one symbol which is used for inline expression, like triangular bracket, percent and equal to symbol is added. So inline code we are not having equal to symbol, but in case of inline expression we are having equal to, and after equal to we will just write down the name of the variable whose value we want to print, and after that just close that inline expression block. So basically as we are making use of response.write in .cs file to display specific variable, the same way we can make use of inline expression to display the specific variable value. Okay, so just see the example. So this is the example of code render block. Just see that we are having HTML tag. In HTML tag we are having head tag. In head we are having title, then we have closed the title tag, head tag, and directly means without using body tag we have started writing the code. So both the block we have used in this example, that is inline code also, inline expression also. So as I have explained previously, inline code means if we are if we are having more than one expression to execute, so in that situation we make use of inline code. So just see the inline code block, we are having two statements to execute. First one is we have declared one variable strvar, okay, dim strvar as string, okay, and then we are having strvar equal to this is a test variable, okay. So the now here the concept is dim strvar as string. Normally what we do, string strvar, this is our way of variable declaration, but while writing the code inside code render block, this is the some patterns which is taken from the VB language, Visual Basic. In Visual Basic we declare the variables in such manner, that is using the dim keyword we declare the variable, and after that we are writing the different types, that is as integer, as string, as double, okay. After as keyword we specify the data type. And then the way of initialization of variable is very simple. With the help of assignment operator only, we are initializing the value of variable. So now in inline code block, we have initialized the value of str var variable, and now by making use of inline expression, I want to display the value of str var variable. So how we will write the inline expression? Triangular bracket percent equal to and then name of the variable. And after this code we are having p tag, that is paragraph tag, that is basically along with the HTML tags we are writing some executable code. So that is nothing but the which is possible only with the help of code render block. And after p tag again there is one more variable str, or the same variable, but I have changed the value of that variable, that is str var equal to this is the test variable 2, and we have simply displayed the value of str var variable with the help of inline expression. So just see the output, you will get code render block by default. Okay, and after that the sentences or the values which we have initialized to the str var variable, that will get displayed. Two times we have used inline expression, so 2 times value of str var, the respective value of str var is displayed on the screen. So this output you will get because of code render block. Then the next part is server side comments. Means again we the same example is taken. The second part, that is from p tag to the second inline expression, we don't want to execute. So what we will do, we will make it or we will write that code inside the comment section. So how we will write the comment section? By using triangular bracket percent and 2 times minus symbol. This is a symbol for having server side comments. Okay, so whatever code you will write inside the server side comment, that is not going to get executed. As we all know that it is similar to the normal comments only. If some part of a code or program you don't want to execute, then we simply put comment before that particular part or line of code, right? So similarly here also we want certain portion which we don't want to be executed during the runtime, then simply we can add the comment. And now we are adding the comment in HTML. Okay, and this is the reason why this server side comment we have used. We cannot use normal hash or single quotes or slash. These symbols cannot be used because this is server side comment. The code which is present inside HTML, you want to comment that code. Okay, so just remember the symbol or the characters which are used to give server side comment, that is triangular, percentage and 2 time minus. And again we have to close the comment also, that is very important. And the next element is server side include directives. Okay, so like we are having page directives, import directives we have seen, we are having one more directive also, that is include directive. Basically in case of C language, we normally have the header files as hash include. Okay, and then you want to import some .aspx file. In that case we are having header files, that is .h extensions file, but in this case we want to import suppose .aspx file, .css file. So for that purpose we can make use of server side include directives. That is, and the way how we will write the server side include directives, triangular bracket, then exclamation mark, 2 times minus symbol, then hash include should be in capital letter, file equal to include file.aspx, and again close the server side include directives by writing 2 times minus symbol and closing triangular bracket. Okay, so we are having two parameters for hash include. In first example we have used file. So suppose a particular file is present in your folder that you want to include as a part of your project. So in that situation you can make use of file parameter. And there is one more parameter, that is virtual means the particular .aspx file is not present in your folder, but you know the path or the location where it is present. So if you want to provide the path or location, then you can make use of virtual parameter. So we are having two parameters for hash include. Okay, And why we are using server side include directives? If you want to add a file, .aspx file, okay, so in that situation we make use of server side include directive. After that, the next component is literal text and HTML tags. Literal text and HTML tags means we can say that uh, if we are writing the normal text inside the HTML tag, the text will appear as it is, but you want that particular text, okay, or if you have taken the label and you don't want the by default setting of that particular label in which it will get displayed, you want the some different way, that is label should be, the content of label should be displayed as a bold or as a italic manner, it should have the underline, or it should be present in the capital letters. So like that, if you want to perform some formatting on the tag, okay, or on the control which is present inside the body tag, then you can make use of literal text, okay. So basically all these part are static only, means it, the whatever properties or value which you have assigned to the literal text using the HTML tag, in that situation whatever properties you have assigned, that will remain same, that is it is nothing but the static, okay. So from the example it will be clear to you of literal text. So here we have used script tag, as we all know that script tag is present inside the head tag, run at server. In page load event we have used the literal text, okay. So before understanding the code which is present inside the script tag, just see the HTML tag. In HTML tag we are having head, and then we are having one more or we can say that one paragraph I have used, that is this is some literal text, and if you notice the paragraph, all the characters are in small letters, only the first character is capital, that is T is capital, other characters of the sentence is small, and this is nothing but the paragraph, okay. And now we have not used body tag, directly after head tag we are making use of P tag, and we have written this code inside the script. In the code what we have written, for each into round bracket literal control, then LC control in page dot controls. There is a one class, page class. Page class controls means the controls which are present inside the class. Page class means our .aspx page, we are having one control which we have used inside HTML, that is P. So we are taking the value of that control and we are storing the value of that control in LC control, okay. Means now we are having the sentence which is present inside the paragraph tag, that is this is some literal text. So because of we are using for each loop, at a time one word from this page control, that is from the paragraph, will be stored inside LC control, that is literal control. We are having literal text, so for that purpose we have to take literal control. So LC control, one by one the word from the sentence of paragraph will be added or will be stored inside LC control, and then on this LC control we have added some formatting features, that is LC control dot text equal to, within double quotes we have written B, means whatever the text which is stored inside the LC control, that is in first execution we are having this, so this is our text that will be converted to bold, plus the same text we want to be as a uppercase. So because of which what will happen, this word from the paragraph sentence is stored inside the LC control variable, okay, object, actually it is an object, and then it is converted to bold and uppercase, okay. So first word is change, so we are having the paragraph, okay, but the content which is going to display, that is LC control with the modification whatever we have did. So similarly the next word, that is some, literal, text, all the words one by one will be stored inside LC control, and the same formatting, that is bold and to upper, will be applied to them. So now we will be having new value of the paragraph, That is, all the letters will be present in this is some literal text, and all will be bold. So this we have did the static formatting, means we have written the code for such type of formatting. That is, we want the sentence or the value which we have provided inside the p tag is in bold and uppercase format, so that we can perform with the help of literal text. So this is static one. We cannot modify it, or we cannot change the formatting during the runtime, because it is once it is done in the compile time only, and the same changes will be reflected in runtime. So basically, to have a static text, we can make use of HTML tags and literal text. So this is the example of literal text. I hope this is clear to you. Just to have literal text. So literal text means the text of any HTML control, HTML tag like p tag, or if you are having label tag, so, or the text which we have written in bold tag. So all the text is converted into different format with the help of literal control. Okay, so this is the last element of .aspx file. Okay, and again the part actually I have previously explained only, that is code behind coding. In case of code behind coding, what we are having separate .aspx page on which we create the interface, and then we are having .aspx.cs page on which we will write the definition for different events. So just see the example. As I have discussed earlier, see the first example. In first example, we are having waveform1.aspx, and then we are having one more page, that is waveform1.aspx.cs. So if we are considering the code behind code logic or code behind coding, then we should have two files. First is .aspx and second one is .aspx.cs. So the second diagram indicates waveform1.aspx, which is having one text box, then one label is there and one button is there. And on aspx.cs file, we are going to write down the code for a specific event. For example, here on just simply double click on button 1, we got the event as button1 underscore click, and in which what we have written, the text which we have entered in text box, that should be displayed in label. So for that we have written label 1.text equal to text box 1.text, because of which what will happen, whatever you will enter inside text box 1.text, the same thing will be displayed, same text or number whatever you have entered will be displayed on the label once you click on the button after execution. So in case of code behind code, we are having two files. And again, just see the first diagram. As I previously told you, in this chapter we are going to learn about different files. So other than your waveform, first thing is web application 1. This is your one project or one website which will contain different forms. Okay, but other than these forms, that is waveform 1 will be taken by or is added by us. But other than that, there are assembly info.cs file, there is references folder, then we are having global.asax file, web.config file. We have not created this. These files are by default present. So we are going to learn what is use of this file, what are the different attributes in further section. So all these things we are going to learn in waveform fundamentals chapter. So this much is there in today's lecture. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe.